Annie's thirsty. We've been busy. So she's having herself a solid drink of water. It's good. Anyways, I thought today I would go over the change that was made that was just interestingly not predicted by Annie loves her water, by anybody. So let's talk about that, and we'll talk about what it means overall here, because making the larger paddock has helped to make a little bit more space, as long as everything works out. So I'm sort of waiting on that. That's why I waited a couple of days, just to make sure that the change that was made was a good one. And it has to do with Annie as well, because Annie is, well, she's a rescue from the wild, essentially. And the idea being that we're going to try to get more. But to get more means that we either have to more space or have less horses here. And I think I've said it a few times, but at some point Annie will be for sale. Likely will be this year, which is hard, obviously, but there are so many more out there still. And I will be doing an interview, hopefully soon, with somebody who knows a heck of a lot more about that, maybe a couple of people. We'll be doing a little bit of traveling and finding the others that are out there. So let's talk a little bit about the change that was made and why it was made. Okay, so let's head on over to the paddock and see who I put together and what you guys think about it. But here we have the bestest big brother we could possibly have on the property. It looks pretty good, but I gotta admit, Roni is fantastic at being a big brother. He's a great sharer. He never causes a problem. He's not big on fighting. He's not overly territorial, all that kind of stuff. So ideally, we have Gracie with him. And these two get along really well. As you can see right now, I've got one hay bag out. They both share that quite contentedly. Well, these two are getting along swimmingly. Just eating together ever so nicely. It's perfect. Roni's always been a really great sharer, and he's just a great horse. He gets along with everybody, and he'll be a calming feature for Gracie as well. So I think it's a good fit for now. We'll see how it goes. Might not be permanent, but for the time being, I think we're looking at a couple of happy horses for now. Nice and quiet. It's perfect. They don't have any trouble hanging around with each other. Nobody has a fight so far. I'm gonna come on in and show you guys. It's good because there's a lot more space in here, and two horses manage really well. They kind of have been making a mess over this area, which is fine. What are you gonna do? Over time, it'll kind of look like this. Hello, Roni. Yes, my friend. It's almost time to go out and play. So what has this done? Where are we at now? I'm hoping this will work out for quite a while. These two do seem to look like they get along okay so far. Not, yeah, I know. You're always looking for scratches. Not causing each other trouble. They are sharing pretty good. Shake. I'm still working on that trick. I'm not sure if I'm doing it or she would do it anyways, but I say shake anyways, just in case. It's for a future trick. So no shake. What this has done is it has enabled these two horses to come up here, which means that somewhere at the back, there's more space. Obviously, Gracie's here. So actually, now that I say that, we can see in Gracie's spot is Luke. So Luke and Roni have left the back. And that gives us a pile of space. Now those two paddocks need just a tiny bit of a break, especially Luke's. It's advisable to be able to have your paddocks be able to take a break, so not always have them full up. So we've got that, that's really good. So what we're gonna do at this point is start thinking about how to incorporate maybe another, maybe two. It's hard to say. Horses are a little bit pricey, obviously, to take care of. And when they come in off of the range, they've got to be dewormed, they've got to be deloused, they've got to be de-ticked. They've got to then be worked with and worked with and worked with. As you know, we've got to get to the feet, you know, be able to pick them up and clean them up and get them all trimmed. We've got to be able to touch their body all over, all that kind of stuff. All that acclimation takes time. Annie's been here a year and she's really come a long ways. It's going so far. And I want to be able to do that for other horses as well. So first step obviously was to figure out how on earth to make more space, and we can't make any more paddocks. The cost of paddocks is too high. Even this extension alone was $1,000, you know, with fabric and gravel, plus all the time that it takes to do it. It takes a long time to build a paddock, and takes a heck of a lot of time to build a shelter. And a lot of money. The wood's just excessive right now. Fencing and all that kind of stuff. So we've got to figure out how to do more with what we've got here. And so the way to do that, obviously, is to take advantage of the space that we have with the paddocks that we've got. So this is one of the ways to do that. Use the land as efficiently as possible and make things happen that way. Now, I will be able to give you guys more information pretty soon, but hopefully, you know, this makes a lot of sense to everybody. I know there were a lot of guesses on who would go together. None of them were Gracie and Roni. They've been together before and they did pretty well. But Gracie doesn't do very well at the back. Otherwise, I might have put her with him earlier at the back. But she doesn't really like the back. So up here she came with him. Always looking for scratches, aren't you? Always looking for scratches. So this is Gracie. Typical Gracie. Always wanting this. Anyway, so that is that. So I thought I would talk a little bit about that. I'm going to talk a little bit more about it in the very near future. And if you have any questions or thoughts, let me know anytime and I will answer them. And more information will be coming soon. So that's it. I'll see you guys in the next one.